Thank you very much for the interview. Introduce yourself.
My name is Samrawit Silva. I'm from the United States. I live in New Hampshire, and I'm here in Sudan right now.
Okay, so I know you are doing a lot of activism on the internet, but the audience needs to know what you are doing, like in the U.S. personally and with other Tagaris living in the U.S.
Yeah. So my activism in the United States looks different every day. Some days it's waking up and tweeting like crazy. Other days it's waking up and calling my local officials and getting people to do the same thing. Other days it's organizing for protests. It's preparing to go onto like public news, the newspaper, things like that. And also just having enough energy to be able to talk to anybody that I come across and tell them the stories, whether it's like Uber rides, random strangers, coffee shops, just letting them know, hey, did you know this is happening in Tigray? So that's a lot of what we as a collective are doing in the U.S., the diaspora.
Okay. Talk to me about the incident that you have with the PP, the Ethiopians.
Yes.
Demonstration.
Yes, it was the end of November. The No More movement was having their like global protests everywhere, and so there was one happening in Boston, which is an hour or so away from me. And I was just, that morning I woke up, I had called my representatives, I had tweeted, and I was like, that's still not enough. And so I was like, okay, well, let me go see what they're doing, because the No More movement wants to come off as a very peaceful, like unity for Ethiopia type of movement. And for me, I'm like, I cannot sit back and not say anything or not expose them at least. I didn't want the wrong information to get out there, because they're bigger in numbers. Their protests, there are a lot more Ethiopians than there are Tagaru. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I have to raise awareness. So I ended up driving to Boston. I made 2 posters. One said Ethiopia is guilty of genocide. I gave that to my friend. And then another one said Ethiopia is starving over 5 million Tigrayans, including my mother and younger siblings. And the point was just to expose them and like actually show the real truth. And so when we got there, it was me and my friend, there was a whole circle, like a huge amount of them. And we started walking in. My friend, in the very beginning, she got slapped. So she just stayed on the outside. Obviously, there was already a problem. And I went inside, like just kept going closer into the circle to the middle of them so that like they could see and that I could raise as much awareness as possible. And as I was going in, as I got closer, like more people, they took my signs, they started hitting me, they ripped it apart. And so then I just stood there and I'm like, okay, well, I'm still gonna be here. I had a TDF shirt and a shirt, so you could tell that I'm Tagaru or I'm for Tigray. And the people, they started screaming, Junta, you're a terrorist, you don't belong here, why are you here? And then they started attacking me even more. It was uncles, it was mothers, it was younger women, it was everybody, fathers, just very aggressive people. And so they started attacking me, and then the police ended up coming, and the sergeant, the white officer, he said, oh, you have to leave. And so I started arguing with him, and they're like, arrest her, arrest her, arrest her. And so he's like, if you don't leave, I will arrest you. And I said, okay, arrest me. I know my rights. I have every right to be there. It's a public space. We cannot sit back and let people celebrate and have fun at the expense of our people dying. So I was just there, and the officer was like, arrest her. And thankfully there were other officers that were like, no, we're not gonna arrest her. And that's what happened. My hair was pulled. Everything was just happening so fast. They're just a very aggressive group of people. But I think the mission was accomplished because people got to see the movement for what they really are, which is an aggressive, non-inclusive group of people, very hateful group of people.
Yeah, you just mentioned that they are very aggressive, but so yeah, based on the reaction that you get from the so-called Ethiopians, what did it tell you? It tells you about the people on the supporters of this genocide?
Yeah, I think they really expose themselves for who they are. They come off trying to be peaceful, trying to talk about unity, trying to talk about we are one. But as soon as, somebody comes in and has like a different view, or they try to call out a government that's committing genocide, they say you don't belong here, which is like going against them, being like, we're all one, we're in this together. So they're very deceiving, same thing as their leader. They just come off as this like very peaceful type of people, and then they literally attack you. Like they physically attack you. They're very hateful. Like the messages that I get are like, oh, you all deserve to die. I hope all your family dies. And they know like we all have family back there. And they'll send you pictures of dead bodies, and they'll be like, oh, it's barbecue time. They're the most, I've never come across such an evil group of people, and I've been active in other social justice things, dealing with other social injustices and groups of very hateful people, but I've never come across very aggressive, hostile, threatening group of people.
So how did this process affected your life? It's been more than a year since the war, since the federal government waged a war against genocidal war against the people of Tigray, or people,
Yeah.
So how did it affected your life in the U.S. And your life in America?
Yeah. My life has completely changed. I think we all became activists, but really every single day, our entire life, this whole past year has been advocating for Tigray. It's the only thing that we can do at this point. And mentally, I know it's taken a really huge toll, because you always feel like you're not doing enough. You're reading about all these things that are happening to our people. You haven't talked to your family for 9 months, some for over a year. So it's been a very, very difficult year. I don't think anybody could have prepared for this, not the people back home, not the diaspora. It's been a very painful, devastating, debilitating year.
Okay, so now we are here in Sudan, Amrawit Refugee Center. I think you just came to Sudan. So what's your plan? Why did you came here?
Yeah, I came here because I have a responsibility to help the people in any way that I can, and I had the ability to be able to leave and come to Sudan, thanks to God. And my plan is just to help them as much as I can, because there are people and they're accessible. We can see them, we can talk with them, we have access to them, and so it's definitely our duty to be able to come here and be able to interact with them, figure out what it is that they need, whether it's mental health, financial health, psychological health, economical health, whatever it is. And also I think it's really good for me as a diaspora to be able to interact with them, and also for them to interact with us, to let them know that they do have people, they're not alone. We're always thinking of them, and their pain is our pain, their struggle is our struggle. So my whole purpose here is just to really be able to figure out what it is that we can do for them and bring it back, because I know some people that aren't able to leave, whether it's work, health, whatever reason it is, they're going to be able to know exactly what it is that our people need.
Yeah. Let's continue our conversation.
Yes.
So we were talking about the international community and what the international community needs to know, that now that you are here and witnessed everything with your naked eyes. So you've been telling the world about the genocide from the US. Now you are here, so I think witnessing it with your naked eyes and talking about it from the US has a lot of difference, as you have told me. So what do the international community need to know about the people of Tigray, the refugees here? I think the thing that they need to know is that they are people, first and foremost, just like any other people.
they feel pain, they feel depression, they feel sadness. And I think the international community needs to like internalize that and think, oh, what if this was my brother? What if this was my sister? And also, I think more than just reading about it and hearing us talk about it, I think international leaders need to take initiative. They need to come to Sudan. They need to talk to the people. They need to go to Tigray, not Addis Ababa, and talk to the government officials and things like that, because then they're going to hear whatever they want to hear, and they'll just continue being concerned, continue saying that they're concerned. But go and see the people. Go hear their stories. Go look them in the eyes as they share their accounts of rape, or seeing their mothers being killed, their brothers, their sisters. They need to go actually interact with the people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you again a personal question. How does it make you feel being a Tigrayan?
Oh my goodness. I feel blessed, which is I feel like not what people would expect, because that's what we're being killed for, is our identity, our Tigrayanness. But I feel so fortunate to belong to such a resilient group of people. Like, I've never been more proud to be part of a community than the Tigrayan community. There's nothing stronger, there's nothing more beautiful, there's nothing more intelligent. We have so much potential, and like that's why for me, I know I have so much hope, so much confidence that we will get over this, and we will be stronger. Like, we will rebuild Tigray. I have so much hope, and I love being Tigrayan, and there's nothing that will ever change that. There's nothing that can ever take that away.
What do you envision about Tigray?
Oh my goodness. I envision, health centers. I envision schools. I envision, kids running around having fun. I envision the youth and the elders just getting together, telling their stories. I envision people braiding hair. I envision a lot of greenness, a lot of growth, a lot of happiness, a lot of laughter, a lot of love. And still the resilience within us that whenever something comes, we're always ready.
So the situation in Tigray right now is deteriorating. Mm-hmm. Health centers are running out of medicine. Yep. People are dying because of hunger, yep. Man-made hunger, Yep. And drone attacks are taking place on a daily basis. And the Eritrean, the Amhara forces, the Ethiopian forces are attacking our people almost on a daily basis. Yep. And people are dying on a daily basis, yep. As we speak right now. So what does it take to stop this genocide?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think, a lot of things are out of some people's control. And I think if every single person focuses on what they can control, then that's what it'll take. So I think I'll talk about what we can control in the diaspora. I think our role is utilizing the resources that our people either here in Sudan or in Tigray don't have, which is, electronic telecommunications. We have the media and things of that nature. So I think for things within our own control, we need to push the people in power to take action, not concern, not anything, and whether it's becoming a little bit more radical and being a little bit more in their face and being like, hey, wake up, you have to do something. But I think it takes teamwork. I think collectively as human beings, we have to come together and we have to be like, yeah, you know what, we messed up again, because after Rwanda, the whole entire world came together. They said never again is happening again. And so I think we all need to get on the same page, and that's how this genocide will come to an end. But I know it will come to an end, and I know that our people back home, they're doing what they can. The people here are doing what they can. So if everybody just continues doing what they can, whatever is within their control, then that's how it will come to an end.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. But finally, I will give you just a moment to express whatever you want.
Yeah, I think I have a message. I'll first start with the people here. I'm so grateful for my people here that have welcomed me. Even though there's a little bit of a language barrier, there's still that love. We really are family. it's just an incredible feeling. So and Sudan as well too, you know, the country, for always welcoming us in and always taking us in as brothers and sisters. And then also a message for TDF. I just want to thank them. You know, they are our pride. You know, they are the reason why we all have faith, the reason why we all have hope. They are like the definition of resilience. Like, they've done so much. So I don't even have enough words to thank them. Not in Tigrinya, not in English. Like, there's no word to be able to thank them. And I know a lot of us feel that way. And then also for the diaspora, I just want to say, you know, keep doing it. The people here depend on us. So every day, like, even when we're tired, it's worth it, I promise you. And if you can, please come and see your people. And then for our people back home, no, you're not alone. We are here always, every day, even though we might not be able to connect with you. Like, we feel you, we hear you, we see you, and one day, like, we will be with you.
So, do you have any word in Tigrinya, maybe Tigrai Tisa'er?
Yes. Tigrai Tisa'er, Ajohum, Ajona, yeah. Tigrai Sabalawad, Tigrai Tisa'er.
Thank you very much. Tigrai Tisa'er,
Thank you.